Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I hope you guys are having a great day. And welcome to Blind Woman Reviews. So today I'm actually going to review a short story that I really didn't think I would review, because I genuinely didn't think I would, because I originally said I didn't want to record it. And originally I was going to record The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for this video, but I decided to advance that to my next video, which should be tomorrow instead. And I'm thinking of recording this one because I thought it'd be an interesting challenge to try to discuss this one short story. So today, as you can see from the title, I will be reviewing There Will Come Soft Rains by Ray Bradbury. This was originally a story that was published sometime in 1950. I can't remember the exact date, but it was published in a magazine in 1950. And basically, the story is about an abandoned house. And by the way, Ray Bradbury is a science fiction writer. So it's about an abandoned house which follows a specific routine throughout the days, because it was stuck on that routine. And basically, at the end of the story, spoilers for story 1950, but at the end of the story, the house is destroyed. But basically there were people living there, but the people themselves were actually were killed by I believe it was a nuclear bomb. I think that's what it basically said. I can't remember everything I read, but I kind of wanted to just talk about it. It was an interesting science fiction story, an interesting experience. I don't read a lot of classic sci-fi. I usually read a bunch of newer sci-fi or a lot of fantasy mainly, but this was an interesting story to read about an abandoned house because we don't have the point of view of uh, people. The main character in this story is the house, which makes it an interesting point of view to follow, because we see that when people were living there, the house used to take care of these people. This is basically a smart house, and the story takes place in the future. I believe it was 2026, it said. But it takes place in the future, and it is a smart house that tells us, like, that gives the people that were there a specific information, and it does specific things to the people. So it's almost like it was stuck in its daily routine. Like, these people were supposed to be waking up at this time. These kids are supposed to go to school at this time. So there were things that it already knew. And even though it's an abandoned place, it continues to follow this routine because, well, it never got shut down. And it's interesting to read about this in that place. It reminded me a lot about I know this is going to be odd, but it reminded me a lot about A Court of Silver Flames, because the house is a really big character in in that book, um, where Nesta kind of befriends the house. The house itself befriends Nesta, and they kind of start building a relationship. And the house tries to take care of her, and but it also has its own darkness as well. And it was very interesting to explore that character. So I found it very interesting to read this story, especially after reading A Court of Silver Flames, like all the way back in March. I found it very interesting to read A Court of Silver, There Will Come Soft Rains, after having a couple of months ago having read A Court of Silver Flames. What I like a lot about this story is that it kind of predicts a very dreary future where um, we it's like we are going to we're going to depend on our technology, and two, I mean, I already depend on my technology for a lot of things, but two, we are going, like, there might be destruction and a lot more abandoned places than what there are now. I like abandoned places. They are very interesting to um they're very interesting to study. I like researching. I like learning about them. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube videos on them, but I do like learning about them. But reading a story about an abandoned place is it was a little bit depressing, but I genuinely did enjoy it. I think the by the end when the house got destroyed, it felt right because at the end you have this house that was it also tried to save itself by the end, but even it couldn't save itself. It's almost like the world itself would automatically, nature will always win, and it will always destroy, and it can people themselves might end up destroying things around them, but at the end of the day nature will also take its own vengeance almost. And it was an interesting story. If you have not, I really would recommend reading this story. I left it, I kind of went a little bit spoiler by the end, but I left it mainly spoiler free. But it was interesting. One of the things I liked about the story, one of my favorite scenes about the story, I'm going in spoiler, but one of my favorite scenes in the story is like at the very end where they add because it's obvious that a family used to live there, and the house asks the wife what she would uh what literature, what things she would like the house to read to her, and there was no answer, so the house decided to choose a favorite her favorite poem, which I don't remember the name of, but it was her favorite poem. And I'm like, oh wow, like it just went with her favorite poem, and it just started reading that. And you get these little when you read this story, you get these like little hints and little like hints in general of people, of the way that these people used to live, and the way that and the things that they probably in a way liked. For example, the wife liked that specific poem, and the fact that the kids went to school at this time, and the way that they went to work at this time. So I liked the fact that this was one of those. It was an interesting. I feel like if it almost says like even abandoned places still have the memory of the people that used to live there, and it was an interesting thing to read. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it. I'm gonna post this. I don't think this will do too much, but I just wanted to talk about it after thinking about it a little bit more, and I just wanted to say a couple of things about it. So yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this random short story review. I don't know um if I'll do other short story reviews, but this one I wanted to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, comment down below your thoughts on There Will Come Soft Rains, and until next time, happy reading.
Voiceover unmuted. You are currently on a mute button. 0%. Stop recording slider.